And welcome into the last Low Post podcast episode of the regular season. Wow, time flies when you only do like 4 episodes, right? Oh, and Sweeney is on.
Wow,
Welcome
look at
in.
that.
We literally just started this podcast. We said we'd join. You'd join when we figured out. Welcome, Brandon Sweeney. You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. I've never done one of these before.
No, it's a
Neither
struggle
have we,
sometimes,
really.
but we have our first guest of the season
What's
from
going
Boom
on, boys?
Shakalaka. And the newcomer from Boom Shakalaka, adding a little spark off the bench if they even needed it. Brandon, you looking forward to playoffs?
Oh yeah, it's the best. Best time of the year. Every session, the games are a little different. Intensity's a little different. Everyone's kind of watching, seeing who's gonna upset who, and what the games are looking like. So it's always way more fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting on the court in the playoffs. Maybe if we get that big enough of a blowout game. But no, the playoffs are always fun. They're fun to watch. You feel the intensity in the air. Christian, your first Legacy League playoffs coming up this weekend. How is that? How are you preparing to analyze all the action as a premier analyst?
Well, I don't want to give myself a title like that, but you can give me the accolades. I've been feeling the electricity in the air. It's just been a different feel. I'm just trying to get into bed early because I want my takes to be hot and I want to be on point. I can't be screwing anything up when it comes down to this point in the season. Things get real important. Got to be on my P's and Q's.
So looking at it, we really only have one more regular season game that kind of matters, is going to be good. Maybe 2 of you count Ozone Bucket Chasers, but everyone's going to be watching Lob City Good U next week. They both only have 1 loss, and the loser of that game actually has to play first round of the playoffs. Brandon, you guys beat both of those teams, so you get that advantage of getting the week off. But This one is going to be, it's basically you get a bye anyways because you have to play the Basket Hounds, but another game that I've been looking forward to basically all year.
Yeah. So we're on Lob City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that might be one of the best games we've had all year, in my opinion. It's one of those games where there's so many talented guys in there where it really it can go either way depending on who's hot. You're going to see a lot of defense, a lot of ball movement. It's hard to pick against Lob. Really, I got respect for those guys. But yeah, that's going to be a fun one. I might have to make sure I watch that one.
Yeah, and they all know each other too, so definitely going to be some trash talking there. Shout out to Cody Crawford, 1,000-point club. I owe him $5. I made a bet with him that the Shady Dunkers would cover last week. They didn't cover, and he didn't play. That's why we were able to make the bet. And I was like, maybe they'll cover, but not even close.
Yeah.
Seamart, how you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm in the AC right now. I'm feeling pretty good.
So honestly. Speaking on your squad, it's your first year ever taking the reins of a basketball team. My squad too, the Goodfellas. Yeah. We are in 10th place going up against Blazers next week. We beat them. We move up a little bit. Looking on if anyone loses, we'd be 4-5. They would also be 4-5. So we'd jump up in the standings a little bit. But right now, looking at 10th place, playing the 7th place team in Island time, I think that puts us at a very good spot.
Yeah, honestly, I think, for a team that's been falling off the last few weeks, can't really ask to be in a better spot than you are right now. 10th spot obviously isn't ideal, but that 10th through 6th spot, everyone's pretty equal in there. So it's not really a big disadvantage to be going up against one of those teams, especially Island time. I think they had their first impressive win of the year. Besides that, they've pretty much beat the garbage of the league. And I think the Goodfellas could give them a run, if they, actually show up, give a little effort, and don't make me sick to my stomach like usual.
Yeah, and usually I could see that. I think you guys had a close one this week.
Yeah, we played
Blazers. Yeah, them next week. What do we have to do?
I mean, the Blazers like to they like to grind it out. I feel like at the beginning of that game, we were kind of. I mean, it's no secret that Boom likes to get out and run. But they were kind of slowing us down. They had the big guys banging down there, and the pace wasn't really the way we're typically playing. So I think a nice thing to do is kind of get them a little bit out of their comfort zone, get them in open space where you can take advantage of some of their size, beat them down the floor, get cutbacks in the back of the basket and get some easy buckets. But they were definitely slowing us down, and for about 3 quarters, that game was definitely anybody's game. And then we kind of got going, and Lucas, once he gets going, it separated. So, yeah, I think they're a good team if you can get them running, speed the pace up. I think you can get an advantage.
Yeah, and that one was I'm pretty sure they had the lead at halftime in that one, but you guys ended up winning by just about 20 points, as you always do. Was it about getting – I mean, you mentioned Lucas. You were the high scorer next to Jose. Was it about getting yourself going? Was it about getting Jose going? Or was it just about getting – oh, you guys all had 28 points.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things. We started off kind of slow, and I was able to have a good first half. And then it was able to, kind of kept us in the game. And then once everybody else kind of got going, it was good. I just think against teams like that, we have the advantage where both of our bigs can kind of get down the floor. We can both hustle, make plays off the dribble and stuff like that. So it's a tough cover.
Yeah, and you're shooting like over 70% this season in the 3 games you've played. Were you shooting on the low rim before you came in? Were you ready for it? I mean, you've just been on fire, like just pegging the basket back, pegging the basket. Like, it's just unreal watching you shoot. And you're like, basically when you jump, you're over it too. So it's just like, what's up?
I mean, it's just a different dynamic. I mean, the other sessions I've been in the past, I feel like I've had a little bit more of like the team needed me to score. And this time I was kind of coming into a different type of team where if I can give them, some, good hustle, good rebound and defense, create some mismatch when, we go into a game and they're worried about our guards and everyone's worried about Jose right now. That makes my job easy. I'm getting easier matchups than I'm used to getting. So it was just one of those games I had to come out. I felt like it was a good opportunity to be a little aggressive. Plus, I feel like some of you guys forgot that I can play. So
that's why you wanted to get on the podcast. So bad. You just wanted to remind us all.
Yeah, what's the team dynamic there when you have a guy like Jose scoring, 35 points a game? Is it sometimes just get the hell out of his way, or is it kind of just like take the game as it plays because everyone's a solid player on your team?
I mean, he's one of those guys where like he's super talented, but I don't feel like there's ever like a, give me the ball, or, he plays within the team, and it's not like we give him the ball and we all are standing around kind of watching. Like, everybody has a chance to get theirs. I mean, they had a game earlier in the year before I even was playing where they had like 4 guys with triple doubles. Like, everyone kind of gets theirs. It's like weird. Like, the ball moves a ton and he still scores 40. Like, I don't know. It's pretty interesting stuff. He gets a lot of easy buckets. Just because he's so athletic and he beats people down the floor. And then when he starts drawing a lot of attention, we have a lot of shooters. And then Mark's no joke, getting to the hoop and drawing fouls either.
Do you think you guys are the toughest team to beat in the playoffs? In the league, do you think you're going to win the championship? I'm not going to say do you think you're going to win the championship, but do you think you're the toughest out right now?
I mean, right now that's kind of where it looks like it points. I mean, they were the top team in the league, and then added me. We had good U right after that. The second game I was back. We took care of them, and so I mean, I personally think there's a group of 3 teams who, really good. I mean, you can't good U. It's kind of like we'll see. It'd be interesting to see how they play with Lob, because if we've seen in the past like decent teams, but you got to come out and you got to beat us, or you got to beat Lob to kind of prove that you can compete with the top teams. But you can never sleep on Lob. Obviously, you got to pay respect to them. So I guess yes, that's a long answer of like there's three teams with a really good chance, but I'm picking Boom.
I agree. Like right now, you guys have you guys are the best record in the league. You have the best player in the league on Jose, the best scorer at least. The only thing that pops a question mark is I don't think Vic Kashu was there when you guys played Lob, and that his score changes everything. But neither were you. That's true. So it basically evens it out.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we see that. I hope it's you guys are 1 and 2.
Yeah, I love playing those guys. I mean, they're real good. I think we're really talented. I mean, there's always like a level of respect there. It might get chippy sometime in the game, but I think there's a level of respect there, and I think it'll be a different dynamic having the two bigs down there, having four guys who could score. I mean, Jose's obviously going to be an all-star this year, and then so if you put that in the mix, we have four guys who have been Legacy League's all-stars. So we have, a pretty good bunch of guys.
Yeah, no question about it. And that would be hopefully you guys meet again in the postseason. Right now, they're looking at the 3 seed in the standings. I don't know how Joey's going to do the bracket.
RPI.
Our RPI. I don't know how he's going to do. Is he going to count close losses in RPI or close wins?
Yeah,
the way he does in the power rankings.
However RPI works, he's doing that equation. If you don't have head-to-head, that'll be the second tiebreaker. So it's not all equaled out yet in the standings, but it will be next week, I think, or definitely.
All right, so he wants us to do a playoff preview, but we don't have the playoff standings yet. That's cool. That's cool. We will we will do a preview of week 9 and then just basically preview the playoffs. So we'll start with you guys, Brandon.
Yep.
And since it's your first time on the podcast, since you are our first guest on the podcast, we'll give you the honor of making your spread. You guys are playing. I mean, we can adjust a little bit, but you can start the bidding, start the number. You guys are playing the Halfway Crooks at 8:00 on court 1. They have. I haven't seen Greg Bell in a couple weeks, but he's supposed to be on their team with Lincoln and that other dude Kevin. But other than those 3 bigs, it's Joey and Jared still.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know, maybe like 13.5.
Yeah,
would probably be favored. I don't want to disrespect. I mean, they got some good.
That's respectable.
Yeah, they got some good players, and if they're knocking down shots and stuff like that, they can be tough.
Yeah, I'd bump it to 14.5 just because you're probably being nice. But
it's a lot of respect to a 2-win team, but I mean, they are a tough out for a 2-win team. I can say that much.
Yeah, you don't want to play the Halfway Crooks in the playoffs. Joey used to always say it. But...
Yep, he's saying it.
I think the one thing with them is like they have some experience, and they can also kind of like I was saying with the Blazers, they can slow you down if they can hit a couple threes and then start working through their bigs. I think the thing they've been kind of lacking is like a playmaker. They have big guys, they have shooters. They kind of need somebody who can make things go. Which is kind of what Lucas does for us when he hits a couple threes, then he can beat people off the dribble. He opens up the whole floor. Same with Mark and Jose, really. I'm probably the worst ball handler on the team. So
I give Lucas the MVP of your team because when he's going, that's really what makes everything go.
He separates it too, When it's a close game, third quarter, Lucas hits 3 or 4 threes. I mean, it's demoralizing.
No longer a close game. He can do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Moving up, we have Good U and Lob City. We'll do that before we get to Goodfellas, Boston Blazers. But I think you got to favor Lob just because of the size. By far.
Yeah. Lob has been really streaking these last few weeks. I mean, especially last week, even without Cody winning by 40-something, they're really catching their stride here. Good U hasn't looked there. They won against Stampede, but I kind of expected them to even win by more. Obviously, Boom handled them the week before. I think Lob has to be favored here by 3 to 5 points, somewhere in that range. Sounds about right.
I was thinking 8-9.
Ooh,
really?
Yeah, I'll go 7.5.
Ooh,
wow.
That's actually a pretty good spread because it definitely makes you have to make a choice there.
Yeah, either you think it's going to be close or not.
I mean, you had some good spreads last week, I think.
We almost nailed the Ozone Boys basket hounds game at the 40-something points.
Oh yeah,
almost right on.
Who do you pick in that spread?
And I would have picked Ozone actually, but it was close at first. It was like a lot closer than I thought it should have been.
I haven't seen a ton of Ozone, but they seem like a tough team. Obviously, Douye is tough as well.
Yeah.
Ozone
is pretty much Douye's boys, just a little younger and maybe a little more athletic.
Yeah.
Deeper.
Like those two guys in the Werewolves. I mean, I feel like they're They're the guys, the sneaky guys in the playoffs. You got to bring your A game or else they can sneak up on you.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
not quite middle of the pack. They're like upper middle class, if you want to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, upper middle class teams. I like that. I'm gonna keep that saying.
upper middle class.
So I'd take Lob City -7.5. I'd take Lob City in that spread, actually, to beat them because I think when it rains, it pours with them. Like if they're gonna beat you, they're gonna beat you.
I like
Yeah.
Lob. I like Lob to win the game. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they'll cover that.
Respect.
Yeah, I think good U is. I think everyone's probably going to show up for them this week since it's such a big game, and I think this one's going to come down to a possession or two. I'm going to pick good U to cover, and I'm going to pick Lob just to scrap it out with their experience.
So I'm the only one taking them on the spread. We'll keep that in mind. Moving on, we'll have our game, Boston Blazers Goodfellas at 7:00. There's no shot that we're favored in this one at all. It's not a snowball's chance in hell.
Nope, and this shouldn't be less than double digits either.
No, I agree. I want to be nice to us, but I completely agree. I'd give them like 15, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking in that range as well. I mean, Boston has shown that they're a good team. We know we struggle with big men. They get a lot of big men, and they can score it. We really can't. So that's going to be kind of a tough matchup for us.
Mm-hmm. Brandon? Who was the best guy like to stop scoring on their team?
The big
Patterson, maybe.
Yeah, they had a big dude that could stroke from the outside too.
I think Jermaine Patterson, number 5.
Yeah, and then their guard, they've couple tough guards. Like when you think of the Blazers, you think their size, but they had a couple guards that beat us up pretty good, getting inside at the beginning, drawing some balls, and the way they play, they're not like guys who just shoot threes. They come right at you, and they definitely helped with slowing down the game, drawing fouls, getting to the line, and just kind of taking us out of our rhythm.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite teams, like an old school style of play. I give 15.5.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And I'd take them.
I probably would too, the way things have been going the last few weeks. And like Brendan said, the reason they were able to chop him down at the end of that game last week was because they just kept running on him. Boston notoriously gets tired towards the end of games. They're a bunch of big dudes, and they're obviously not in their athletic prime, but they still play well, and they're a tough out. So I think if you can run on them, you can keep it close and maybe squeak out a win. But they're a tough team, especially come playoffs.
Who are you sticking with?
I mean, I haven't really seen you guys this season, so I don't know. It seems like I have to go Blazers. It seems like a resounding decision. So if you guys are on the team and you're picking it, I'm picking it.
We have a Sweeney on our team too. So maybe Matt Sweeney. Are you guys related? Anything?
Nah, I don't think so.
Nope.
Maybe you can teach him how to shoot from 3.
We definitely should. He's been so cold lately.
Yeah, we talked about it the other night. 15% from 3, and he shoots a lot of them. So need some of that hot hand from Sweeney, who's shooting about 43% from 3. Yes, I checked the stats.
I don't think I've read up on stats in forever. You got to write the articles, though. So moving on, we have I want to see Basket Hounds and Island Time. That's the 10 o'clock game. Do you think the Basket Hounds get a win?
Oh.
I think Brandon.
It's hard to pick them. No.
It's almost impossible to pick them. The only thing that makes me want to pick them is for their fans, for the people that are obviously just graduated high school that show up every game and yell for the Basket Hounds every time they get the ball. That's why I want them to win, but there is no shot they do.
No, yeah, and I feel bad to say it, and I say it every week. Bunch of good kids over there on the Basket Hounds, but it's looking like we're pouring one out here for the Basket Hounds. Undefeated season. I'm sorry, boys, or a defeated season. It's looking like we're going 0-10. Pouring out for my boys, the Basket Hounds. They tried their best all year, but it's not going to happen. This one's going to be another 30, 40-point blowout.
I mean, honestly, I think if you take if you don't take Island Time on this, it's kind of disrespect to Island Time. I don't think they're a bad team
at all.
3 straight wins.
I think they got that. They got some tough guard play. They got a pretty talented big dude. From what I've seen from just games like them playing before me, I like his game. They actually might be a team. They beat Werewolves last week, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not an easy team to beat, if especially when everyone. I'm assuming everybody was there for the Werewolves. They have a pretty solid team. That's a good win.
Yeah, it's a very good one. I'm excited to see playoff Yarcy. I know he's been kind of holding back a little bit. But I'm excited to see what he has to bring. Speaking of the Werewolves, they got Stampede next week against Brad Allen. And Brad told me he might have a surprise. That Peterson might be back.
Wow.
For a game.
I thought you were going to say they might shoot over 30%.
Dude, our player prop hit.
Yeah, 18 shots.
That guy, he took exactly 18 shots.
Yeah, I think we said 17 and a half. He took 18. 3 for 18, I believe. I mean, it's just got to be better than that.
In his second week.
Mario
Valerio. If he's listening to this, he probably hates us if he listens to this, but like, do better, bro. Like, pass the rock.
We're just there for motivation. Yeah.
You don't gotta shoot it.
I just read the stats and I say what they say. So I see 3 for 18. Yeah. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Stats don't lie. They don't lie.
Yeah. No, they tell the truth a strong amount of the time.
I'd take the Werewolves in this one by about 13.5. Just because I think they're going to struggle with the size of Brad Allen.
Yeah, and I think you're probably spot on there. Werewolves have been real shaky. I mean, all year for the most part. You don't know what you're getting week to week. But, yeah, this is definitely, 10, 12-point game, and I expect Werewolves to cover as well. I think Heston has a big week after, Jeff Winchell gave him a little bit of trouble last week. So, I think – Stampede might make this a decent game, but they're not going to win. That's for sure.
Sweeney, you've gone up against Heston in the playoffs before. You've gone up against him a couple times.
Yeah.
He makes it look so smooth. How good is he really? Because sometimes it looks like he's not even trying, just like flicking the ball at the basket or like getting in. It's just, how good is he really?
He's real tough going to the basket. I think the thing with him is you almost prefer he shoots from the outside. Then when he hits a couple of those, though, he's dangerous. We had it last year in the playoffs. I think it was last session in the playoffs. We had a doozy. I think you were watching that game. Me and him were battling in the third quarter, going back and forth. He's tough, man. He's a tough cover. He can put it down. I think the interesting thing with the Werewolves is that they kind of like they've been adding like each session. They've kind of been adding somebody, and it's like you wonder like. If the dynamics kind of right there, like, yeah, they're good. I feel like sometimes they're good players, but I feel like part of the thing that makes the Werewolves so good is all that chemistry between Heston and the other guys because they're all like buddies. So I think that's part of the reason you see like the inconsistency when you throw kind of Yars in there. Obviously, Yar's a really good player. He's been an MVP before. But I would take the Werewolves in that spread.
Yeah. That's a fair question, too. I mean, we know Dave Campbell went down week 2 coming off of like a 35-point game. So that was obviously a huge loss at the beginning of the year. Yeah. And then obviously since then, they've kind of just been having injuries left and right, inconsistency in play. And so you really don't know what you're getting from them. But, if they can really get a good win here and, head into playoffs doing all right, then, they can maybe squeak out a few wins and who knows what they can do.
Yeah.
They're a tough out.
Definitely.
Shout out to Heston too, breaching the 1,000-point club. I know they wanted him to get his graphic up, but Joey is working on it, guys.
Joey's getting beat on all the time. Joey's always getting beat on.
I've never seen anyone say anything nice to Joey on Twitter. Ever. I have never seen it.
Oh yeah, they love coming at him. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Both leagues too. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, you have Ozone and Bucket Chasers. I think Figueredo can give Ozone a little bit of trouble. They're big.
Oh, wait, by the way, did we give Basket Hounds a spread, or did we just move on after I poured one out for them?
I think the beer was their spread.
Okay.
Basket Hounds spread is 1 natural light.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, fair enough.
I'd favor.
In that case, they're going to cover.
True.
I don't think they're old enough.
I don't think
I'd
so.
favor Island Time. That's who they're playing, right? Yeah. I'd favor
Island Time?
Island Time by 24.5.
Dude, you're
And I'd
too
take
nice.
the Basket Hounds, though.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to take them. Why not?
You're a nice guy. Jeff Winchell's going to score 50 points if he wants to.
If he wants to.
Yeah. But all right, I'll go with that. I was mean enough with the pouring one out, but so you can have that.
So Island Time minus 24.5. You taking them?
No. Sorry.
That's a lot of points, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they win by like 15, 20.
You guys
Really?
beat them by like 50-something.
Yeah.
Boom did?
Yeah, that was when everyone had the triple doubles.
Oh no, they won by 90.
No, you guys won by 90?
Yeah, I think it was
Ooh.
around 90.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. It was like 140 to 50.
Maybe I'll take the Island Time to cover.
Yeah.
You might have to. I'll
missed the
take
stat game,
Basket
I
Hounds.
guess.
Yeah.
They're just so easy to. I don't even know. They're just small, and I'm not big either. But I think I would be able to get inside on them.
Yeah, you probably would be able to, and you might be able to do some damage too.
That's being nice. The last game we have left is
the final score to that game was 145 to 53, so that gives you a little context about where they stand. No mercy in that game.
62, 20-something, and 17 or something like that.
Yeah, something wild.
It was nuts. It was bad. It was one of the worst basketball games I had ever watched, like in my lifetime. Besides some of URIs this year, it was just bad. So we got one more game to spread now, and that's Shady Dunkers and Duyer's boys. And I'm going to go with the Duyer's on the spread, and I think that spread's going to be 14.
14.
Yeah, I think they're a little mad. 14 on the dot. We'll give them a reason for a push, but I think they're a little mad about last week.
Yeah, and probably going to have Aaron Gray this week as well. And, I think him versus Shane Patrick is an intriguing matchup, but, I mean, he can jump out of the gym, so he's probably going to get his no matter what. So that definitely gives him a better chance to try and keep it, a close game against, obviously, a better team in Duyer's boys.
What I've noticed about Duyer's is they're prone to superstars. Like, if you play good team basketball against them, they will play good team defense back. They will play good team offense. And it'll be a good game. That's why they went to double overtime with Lob City. But Boom beat them by like 50 because Jose just scored 50 on them. Like, when they have one overpowering guy, they just really fall apart. And that's their one flaw, is they're prone to superstars. That's why they play good U tough. They would play Lob City tough. They went to overtime with them. They play the Werewolves tough. I mean, they kicked our ass, but it was just...
Yeah. There's no superstars to be found over there. But even last week, Noah Berg made a big impact last week without the Hogan brothers. Who knows? If the Hogan brothers were there, maybe according to what you're thinking, like maybe Duyer's boys would have won that game. Who knows? But they're definitely susceptible to some stars. I can say that much.
It's backward logic, but it's not wrong logic.
Right.
Have you seen the Duyer's boys yet, Sweeney?
I mean, I'm familiar with a lot of the guys. I haven't really seen them play like as a bunch now, but I would take them here. I think they're pretty tough. I feel like they're the type of team too where they're gonna, they're not gonna take losing last week lightly. They're gonna come out and they're gonna want to, bounce back, especially with the playoffs coming up. I think you'll probably see a big game out of them.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch Shane again go at it. He's probably one of the most fun players to watch in the league. But
hilarious.
That's about it for next week's games. We will get some playoff spreads up on the Twitter, and maybe a midweek podcast when we get the playoff teams set. But that'll do it for the last Low Post podcast of the regular season. Sweeney, thank you for joining us. It's always nice to get a player's input, an actual good player. I know I sit here and talk to the screen all day, but thank you for joining us. What'd you think?
Pretty fun, guys. Thanks for having me. Krusz, what was that step back that I saw on
that's my signature 2K move.
What was that James Harden?
Right, and then switch. That's what I felt like when I'm watching the replay. I'm like, oh, James Harden.
You definitely deserved a top play for that. I mean, it's the least Joey could have done for you. You just put that in there. I don't know who. Maybe I shouldn't blame Joey like I do for everything else, but whoever
I did
made.
the top plays, but
You
tried,
guys
I tried to get it in, but I wasn't given the okay for that one. So
You pulled him out on purpose. I know how this happened.
no, come on. I always try and get Krusz in there. But if the guy fell, I mean, that would have been the number one play for return.
Would have been all over. The play of the year.
I wanted to at least make the crossover and have him like go forward and then backwards with it and just keep showing it.
I would have loved that.
All right, guys. We will catch you next week. Good luck Tuesday, Brandon. And we will see you guys. We will see you guys Tuesday at the Johnston Rec Center. Thank you for joining us and build your legacy.
Let's do it. Have a good night, boys.